Why, oh why won't this roof respect my authority? This is Liberty Prime with Base Footers, and welcome back to RuneScape Dragonwilds. In this episode, we're going to come up with a roof style that fits the fairy tale feel of our village. But how will we solve all the weird little problems that the game's building system will inevitably throw at us? Okay, come on, just snap. I don't care how you snap, just snap. Not in my face. And if you enjoy figuring out solutions to all the weird stuff the game throws at us, please be sure to leave a like on this video. Oh, and please don't forget to subscribe so that you can see how our fairy tale village build turns out. But first, and there always seems to be a but first in this build, doesn't there? Hey, we're making it up as we go along here, so yeah, my mind just keeps on popping up ideas at me. But first, before we start our roof, we're going to actually change the profile of this just a little bit, or the facade, or some kind of word like that. Because, see, this side and this side are kind of stealing the attention away from this window up here. Let me get a little bit further away and get this grass out of the way somehow. That grass is just determined to be in the way. Alright, well, anyway, this window up here is supposed to be a little bit more of a feature. So rather than bringing this window outwards, we're actually going to push this part over here and this part over here inwards just a little bit. And that actually kind of solves two problems for me, because I don't think I really like having this overlapped section here right beside this overlapped section here on both sides. So we're just going to push this on back, and boy, it sure is a nasty overcast day here today. But at least it's not raining. Alright, let's get into the Eye of Oculus and start making all our little tweaks. We always got to make those last minute little tweaks. Alrighty, ooh, it suddenly got a little bit brighter, nice. Okay, so we're going to be, well, first of all, we're going to be using this to destroy some stuff with. And hopefully we can keep the stuff that we want. Let's turn you around just a little bit there. Come on, do the thing. You're not doing the thing. Oh, okay, yeah, you are doing the thing. All right. Good little inanimate object. I like it when you do the thing that I ask you to do. Alrighty, now I'm a little bit undecided as to how I should handle this side right here. We might give it a try both ways, and I will explain both ways in just a few seconds. There's probably more than just the two ways, but right now we're going to be choosing between two of the ways, I should probably say. Okay. That's getting a little bit closer to what I had in mind. And let's see. Now, I'm wondering if I'll be able to do a little crisscross here. Let's find out, shall we? Because sometimes it's woefully reluctant to do what I want it to. Let's give it a shot. How well will you behave? Ooh, you are behaving. Let's keep you going with the behaving part. I like that part. Yes, all right. And now we're going to do just a few more of these decorative little pieces. Right back up here. Oh, come on, do it. There we go. Okay, and either way, there's going to be a decorative piece up here. But what I'm trying to decide between is whether we should have decorative pieces going all the way down, which won't look too bad. Are you in the correct spot? No, you're not. Alright, let's keep on working on it. Okay. So that is, well, let me get these up here real quick, because those are what's going to happen either way. Come on, get over there. There we go. And y'all, please excuse me if my voice is a little bit weird and rough, because there is just so much pollen out there, y'all. I'm kind of tired of it. And I've been drinking some peppermint tea, and it hadn't really kicked in yet, unfortunately. But anyway, here is option number 2, and I think we're going to have to get into advanced to get it to snap where I want it to. Come on, do it. Oh, this should not be hard. I am not asking anything particularly complicated of you, although apparently speaking is a particularly complicated thing for me. Okay, there we go. Now this is going to be, well, let's get outside and see what it'll look like. And let's put our little window piece in there first. Oh, and here comes the rain, of course. Anyway, there is our little tiny window. And I'm thinking that might be kind of interesting to have it like that. But that would mean that inside I need to do something to obscure the fact that there's this mysterious half window inside. So let's just go with the decorative pieces that we use for so many things, because frankly they're the only one that's this particular size. And now here in this little alcove that is, ooh, boy, it's hard to get at the right angle here. In this little alcove that has been newly formed, let's see if we can fit a little bookcase in there. That might be a good little space occupier. I was going to say space saver, but that's not the right term. That's a decoration. Here we go. Let's see how you fit in here. Will you fit just, ooh, well, not quite how I had in mind, but you're fitting a little bit better than you have any good reason to. So let's see if we consider this well enough to satisfy my OCD. I think I'll push you back a little bit if I can. There, nice little built-in bookcase. Ooh, I'm going to push it back just a little bit further so that the top is not coming out, if I can. Let's see how far back I can get it. That, ooh, I can't quite tell if it's going backwards or up and down. Well, oh, come on, do the thing. It might not do the thing. Yeah, that seems to be as far back as we can get it. Well, in that case, I will move it outwards just a little bit. It'll still look built in, but it'll look a little bit more properly built in. Well, no, that's not doing what I hoped it would. Okay. Well, I'm still going to make this work somehow. I could just, like, I don't know, put a beam in front of it or something. Actually, I'm going to bury it just a little bit more in this wall, perhaps. Oh, this is being too fiddly. I'm tired of it already. Let's see. You will go into the wall a little bit more. And we'll just put some sort of beam there. Yeah, dang it. I'm not yet satisfied. I would like to be satisfied with the results here. Okay. Yeah, I think you do work best when you're just barely right up against that wall. And then we'll cover up this side. And let's just... Well, let's just look at it from outside. And is it already getting dark? Oh my goodness. Good creep. You know what, y'all? I'm starting to think that maybe I do want to go ahead and put my little base out here. Just one of those little starter bases. But what do you think? Should we do the extra window there? Or should we go with just a decorative row here? I'm kind of liking that extra window, I gotta admit. And I'm starting to think about putting that bed down. Oh, but I do kind of like having that little... well, okay, let's just go ahead and get rid of this piece here and put in another window. And we will get to that roof before you know it. I promise. With a hard R. Promise. Come on, get you there. Alright, and let's do the same little bookcase over here. Now, if I find anything else that seems to fit in that corner a little better, I will go with that. But for the moment, I think I'm okay enough with this. Let's see. Yeah, and I've already got the bookcase selected, so we are definitely going to go with that. Oh, this is not... no, I do not already have the bookcase selected. Silly me. Let's try this again with the bookcase actually selected. Now, do I have all the supplies on me? I don't think I do. They're all up there on the floor. Let's see what we can pick up from the ground. And there's quite a few things on the ground. But, okay, I'm going to go upstairs, pick stuff up, and then I'm going to just resign myself to building a base out here because the annoyance of going back and forth is starting to get to me. So, let's get on down. And let's go ahead and just build up a little quick base here. And I want to leave, well, actually what I want to do is have it close enough to this so that I am, cozy and all that kind of stuff. So let's go with here. And we're going to just build a very basic little spot where we can sleep. And I'm going to spin that around just a little bit. Okay. This is going to be just nice and quick and simple. And also, I've gotten in certain habits. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to spend the nice stuff on that. I meant to spend the cheap stuff on that. Cheap stuff, here we go. I mean, it's not the cheapest stuff in the world. It's just, much cheaper than the other stuff. So let's make this as quick and dirty as we can. My voice is just not cooperative this morning. Okay, let's get some light on this situation. And I think we're going to go with the blue light here. Just because. Because why not? That's why. Okay, come on. Okay, and just a little bit of stairs here. To make it easier to actually get in there. Okay, spin around now, please. Alright, and just a little bit, and hopefully I'll be able to still sleep before I'm done building this. I always seem to do that. By the time I'm done building my little temporary base, it's too late to go to bed. But we made it. You're cozy near your bed and base. Yay! Get up, those dragons aren't going to slay themselves. Well, I'm very disappointed, or I was very disappointed when I found out that slaying the dragon is not going to stop all these annoying little wild overhead dragon things just randomly spewing poisonous vomit all over the place. It's a sad situation. But anyway, now we have got sleep under our belts, and hopefully I won't have to be eating and drinking quite as often either, which will be a nice change. Because right now I'm sitting here eating and drinking, and my throat is going to be dry. Actually, you know what it is in real life too, so more peppermint tea for me. Okay, let's get into... I have Oculus yet again, and we're still trying to stay out of our own way by staying over here nice and far away from what we're doing. But we are now getting much closer to being able to build this roof that I've been excited to build. So let's get up here and see what kind of pieces we need to use. I think that this will be way too big. So let's go over here. I'd forgotten that that's what that called for. All right. Although, actually, I'm not sure if these are the pieces that we should be using, because I'm planning on this roof being just a little bit more, well, interesting. Oh, and these are the wrong pieces anyway, so... But, let's see. And let's see how well I can fit this whole thing in, because I am thinking that instead of going with just a normal little 45-degree roof, we're going to sort of, maybe make it a little bit curved. Which might be a little bit tough with this smaller roof here, but the one that's going to be right behind it is going to be much more interestingly curved. So let's see what we can start off with here and see how small of a piece we can get here. And okay, I'm going to go ahead and have to start with that. Let's see. Now, I knew that there were going to be some complications going on here, and we have already started having them. So, let's see how well this is going to work for me. That actually is working surprisingly well so far. I was hoping I could get the 60-degree in there as well, but this might be our best bet for this smaller roof. I don't know, we'll see if we can fit in the 60 degrees anyway. Because my idea is to sort of curve this up. Ooh, that's going to be a little... Well, no, I think that's going to be just a little bit too short. I mean, too sharp. I don't know. Well, we'll just see what happens when we go a little bit further. But we are going to be starting out... Oh, I'm having thoughts already. Dangerous, dangerous thoughts. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go with those dangerous thoughts. Alrighty, let's destroy what we already built. Ooh, that's the wrong one, but I'll just use it for destruction purposes. Because what I'm thinking... Alright, let's go ahead and start sketching in this roof here, rather than worrying about the supports too much. Alrighty, we are going to start off with some of these nice little 30-degree pieces going on either side. And then we're going to step on up to some nice 45-degree pieces, if we can get it to snap properly. I'm not sure that it's snapping. Oh, well, are you snapping properly? I can't tell. There we go. That's what I was after. Alrighty, so next came the 45-degree piece, which is not spun around correctly. Okay, let's see if we can get you to do the same thing over here, and I don't think you did, actually. Do the same thing over here as... match. Just do that for me. Match. But you know what? I'm not going to worry too much about making that happen. Let's just move on to the next step, which is one of these little guys. Are you rotated correctly? No, you're not. Okay. Now you are. And now perhaps... Oh boy, I'm going to need to go just a little bit further with you than I realized. Alright, let's see. You know what? Let's move this out just a little bit too. Well, let's put you there. Well, we'll just keep on working on it. There will be another 60-degree angle piece at the top. Once we get a little bit further. Why are you looking funky? Why are you being funky? Maybe okay, yeah, this piece just snapped incorrectly. That's the problem. Okay. Well, now you can just go ahead and snap on top of yourself here real quick. Well, in theory you can. Okay, well, I needed to have you out there anyway, so let's just go with that. Because I am making this sort of stick out just a little bit as well. Let's see how well this whole thing works. And you know what? Maybe it's this piece that snapped incorrectly rather than the other piece, but let's just keep on working with what we got. How did you get all rotated on me? This thing is just being difficult. Left, right, and center. Oh, am I already out of oak logs? I think I'm already out of oak logs. But let's just go ahead and get overburdened. That is our natural state, as I say over and over again. Ooh, and I got all sorts of stuff on the ground. Okay, let's pick up... Ooh, we might need to do a little bit more deforestation here soon. Now let's see what else I might be short on. We got enough of those. Need to get rid of these guru packs. You're just occupying space and weight. Alright, we've got enough of that. Got more stuff that we can put in our little excess crate. Let's see, don't need all these animal hides. Actually, I don't really need those much anymore, period. I've got just way too many of them, but, okay, let's get back to this roof. And that involves the Eye of Oculus. So let's get on up there. And what were we working with? Yeah, we were working with this little guy. And we might mess around with this. I don't necessarily need to be using the smallest pieces for it. But that'll work for the moment, because what we are going to do next is put on the 60-degree ones, hopefully. Where is you? There is you. Okay, now let's see if we can get you in the proper spot. And I don't mind if you're just a little bit of a tiny point up there. That seems like it's going to work out just fine for me. Okay, now how well are you matching up? That is a big question for me. Alright. Now I'm gonna rejigger this a little bit. I'm kind of fine with how it looks over here. Let's play around with the 30-degree angle ones again. I want to make sure that you're going into the right space. And I don't actually mind having you there. Let's see what that looks like. Now it looks a little bit, well, it looks a little bit weird, but let's get rid of these guys. Yeah, see, I wanted to hang out just a little bit further on the sides there. So we're going to try putting you right back down here. And I'm thinking that this didn't quite, well, one of the times it didn't quite snap correctly, and I can't tell if this is correct or not. Let's destroy this and this. And we're going to get back into basic snapping, because that's a little bit more of a guarantee that it's going to snap in the correct spot. So let's keep on trying with this. There we go. Now you are probably in the correct spot, one hopes. And, well, let's leave that there for the moment. Let's switch over to the 45s and click you off of here, or snap you off of here. Okay. Now that should be snapped properly. And I think we're going to be moving you up a little bit. Yeah, see, this kind of building, it does just plain get complicated because you just got to get in there and see what happens when you do it. And it can be a lot of fun to play around with it as you go anyway, so I do encourage you all to just experiment, because you can get all sorts of wonderful effects with just a little bit of experimentation. But now we're going to experiment our way into one of these. Now please be... yeah, okay. Please be at the correct rotation is what I was trying to say. Alrighty, well, this is suddenly going smoothly. Here's hoping that it actually continues to go smoothly. Are you the correct thing? No, you are not the correct thing. You're close to the correct thing, but the correct thing is not right there. Yes, this is looking like the correct thing, and this is surprising me by being a little bit... Now, should I go up there, or should I maybe extend this 45 degrees just a little bit further? Because I want to, I want to make them meet appropriately. Well, let's just try it and find out what happens. Oh, I keep doing that. Okay. Well, that's not half bad looking. It's a little bit pointier than I was going for, though. So, let us try just slightly extending this 45 degrees and see if that's still going to work. This is that FAFO phase of our build, which actually our whole build is FAFO, so let's keep doing that. And now I'm curious what happens when I add on this this little 60 degrees here. Yeah, because that's going, well, I think that's going a little bit too far. Well, we might just have to go with pointy. I'm not heartbroken over going with pointy, but it's a little bit pointy. Oh, and once again, I am in the wrong direction. Okay, let's just see what happens there. I think that's the correct rotation. Yeah, that's definitely not working out in terms of where it ends up. Let's see if we can get it to snap slightly differently. Which, hey, sometimes it works. All right, first we're going to go ahead and finish that up. And now we're going to see if we can kind of snap it in weird places with the help of advanced snap. See, this kind of works. I want just a oh, you're looking weird. Or that's looking weird, but meh. Okay. Let's keep on trying. Okay, now snap to the other thing, please. No, snap beside yourself. And we'll get right back into basic. And maybe that'll make it snap beside itself. Or maybe it won't. Now, how did you snap there? And why? Oh, wait, I think I saw it for a second there. Come on, do it better. Okay, well, let's just think outside the box or whatnot. If y'all heard that, y'all, its name is Jin Yang. And it's thinking that it's time for its next meal, but it is incorrect. It's about a half hour early. Okay, let's get back into advanced, and there we go. Okay, now let's see what happens when we try to snap against each other. Is that happening properly? I believe it is. Okay, and now we're going to put back the piece that we destroyed. Why do you look weird? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, you're just going and look weird. Oh, I think you're possibly not centered? I can't tell. Feline, what are you doing there? Hey, hey. You're distracting me, is what you're doing there. Okay, well, yeah, that's looking a little bit funky. We sort of have both options going on here, it would appear. Yeah, see, that is not at all centered, is it? I was kind of going for centered. Why do you look like you're a little bit twisted? Huh. Oh, well, well. More mysteries abound. Okay. Alrighty, now, I think between the two, because I know what I'm planning to put behind it, I think that this right side might work out a little better for me. So whatever I did over here, let's try to make sure that it's happening over there. But what did I do over here? Okay, well, what I'm going to do right now is just a whole bunch of destruction. And then we're gonna study this little puzzle and see if we can figure out what's going on. And as a little bit of an assist, I think I will go ahead and put in these wall pieces. Even though it's starting to get pretty dark up in here. And I should probably get my fingers on the correct keys. Okay, go up. There we go. Yeah, this has definitely gotten itself off center. Please don't tell me that I'm out of supplies. Okay, there we go. Are you properly rotated? Let me get on the other side so that I can see. Okay, let's see. You probably need to click up a bit, don't you? Well, let's get over here and put in some of these smaller 45-degree pieces. And then maybe I can gauge by you. Let's see. And actually, it might wind up looking best with just these smaller 45-degree pieces. But we do need to figure out a little bit more before we can be sure about that. And now I'm just sort of trying to make sure that this actually is more centered than it's currently looking like it is. Alrighty. Let's keep on building the roof here and see what winds up happening. Because I think that I need to make these meet in the middle, the 45 degrees. And make sure that everything is actually centered. And then I might be able to just plonk the 60 degrees on top of it. Or on, you know, having them meet each other. And now I think we're going to go to bed and sleep until we can actually see what we're doing, because why is this going over to the left on me? That's a little bit weird. So we'll find out about that in the morning. And we'll even, you know, do the thing where we pick stuff up in the morning. I thought I was going to do that, but I was incorrect. It's just always tempted to just go ahead and grab everything. The world wakes. And now let's get back up to this roof and see why it's over there to the left. That is not the correct thing. Okay, and that is not the correct thing either, so let's get into the Eye of Oculus this time. Get up there and float in midair. Which is our native habitat, apparently. Okay, you go away. And you go away. And you get to go away too. Alrighty. Now, let's see if I can make you go where I want you to. Actually, let's just go ahead and let you snap out here and see if we can snap you maybe over here and kind of make you meet up. Alright, nope, that is not the answer. Let's see if we can snap you slightly differently. I'm just planning to, well, to make you work like I want you to. Let's see. Okay, we've got two snapping places there. Not sure if either of these is quite the correct thing. The problem is that I need to sort of make you cross over yourself, which might not be as easy as I want it to be. And now I just want you to snap to yourself. So let's get over there and do that. Oh, you were doing it for just a split second. There. Ooh, do it again. I know you can. Why do you do that to me? It's not fair. Be nice. Be nice to your human. I am your neighbor. Be kind to me. Oy, I keep getting it for just this. Oh. Alright. And of course, watch it wind up being the wrong spot anyway. But hey, we got to do the thing that we were attempting. So yay for us. Okay. Now let's see what happens if we manage to get this other one snapped here. It's not looking like it wants to snap there. Okay, let's start thinking differently here. Let's go ahead and get rid of what we fought so hard for. I'm wondering what would happen if I were to, you know, put a bigger piece in here, and whether or not that would make it a little bit easier to snap off of if we were to do this. That's actually looking kind of centered. It's actually just generically not looking all that bad, so yeah, again, it's a little bit more, okay, a little bit more pointy than I was going for, but I might be able to work with that, and it will probably still go with the roof line backing it. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start working on that roof line that's going to be backing it. And hopefully I've got enough supplies on me. I'm not overburdened, that's a weirdness. Okay. Well, now, in order to put this next roof on, what I'm actually going to need to do is going to be to put a few walls on. Now, for this story behind it, what I'm actually planning is for, let's see, for a half-height roof, or a half-height floor, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's just put these little half-high pieces here and start counting over. And I don't need any kind of an interesting wall behind you. So let's just do this. And I want it to sort of not be competing with the angle of the roof, which is why I angled that outwards. Now I actually could put a couple of windows up there, but well, I don't know. No, let's not try it, because that would just get a little bit complicated. Okay, anyway, let's get into some of these small 45 degrees here. We're still going to be trying for the whole thing where it starts at 30 degrees and then angles out. But that means that, well, that means that I need a little half height here. And over here, and we'll just build back from there eventually, but we're not quite to it yet. So let's see exactly how pointy this roof is going to wind up being. I'm just not crazy about how pointy this is. I'm a little bit torn as to how I should handle this. But let's just see how it works out up here. Oh goodness, of course it does. Let's see, where are you coming from? There you are. Let's just entirely fail what we were trying to do. Alright, there's our daily fire and brimstone filing from the sky event. But let's get right back up here. Keep on working on our roof. This house is going to be a pretty tall house. Not sure that they're all going to wind up being that tall, but hey, this steep hill does sort of have that little side effect. But anyway, back to the Eye of Oculus. Hi, dear. And we're going to get right back up there and try to get my brain back into gear here. Let's see. Alrighty, we were going to be going with some of these next. And seeing exactly how high we need to go with the 45 degree portion, because it might wind up being a little bit higher. Okay, go ahead and put this in place, and we will be adding on as much of the 30 and the 60 as we need to, but it might not wind up being quite as much as I expect, or it might wind up being more, because it sure enough seems like more pointiness on that slightly lower piece of roof. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, that's why you weren't coming on. Alrighty, so that's sort of the rough outline. Now, I'm wondering if I need to, I can't tell if I'm really going to need these, where is it? Yeah, these 30 degree ones. Let's see if we can sort of put it halfway and see how that's going to look as a kind of a skeletal structure. So why am I being... Oh, I'm just being stupid, that's why. Okay, let's see what we need to do next here. You are a 60-degree roof. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that you're not so high that you're starting to lose support. I realize that I might not be able to snap things off of you as far off as, or as far up as I want to. Okay, come on, just snap. I don't care how you snap, just snap. Not in my face. My face is not something that you can snap to. I apologize, but that's just, you know, them's the facts of life. Okay. And I will be making that a little bit of an overhang as well. We're just not quite to that stage yet. But now, for this stage, the 45-degree stage, and this stage over here, same stage. And okay, now we're going for some of this 30-degree stuff. And that's going to be an interesting little fairytale profile there. And now I get to decide whether or not I like the pointiness of this, and I don't think I like the pointiness of this. So, you know what, I could actually kind of leave it like that. But I would like just a tiny little bit of pointiness going on. So, we're going to see if we can get our smallest possible pointiness here. Why are you so reluctant to do the thing that I want you to do, though? That's what I don't quite understand. Am I just missing something? Okay. Yes, see, I want you to do that, but down here. Why won't you go down there? Okay, let's just remove these pieces in hopes that you'll... Yeah, that's what I was going for. And if I have to just layer you funny, I have to just layer you funny. Oh, you're not snapping properly, are you? Okay, and I'm probably out of materials and whatnot anyway. So, okay, maybe I'm not out of materials and whatnot anyway. Alright, that's looking... Okay, it's sort of like I want it to be. Okay, now get you right beside you. Go on, cozy up to your partner. Do-si-do. Advanced for me. Come on, we're almost there. I'm gonna need to tie up this episode soon. I'm actually, you know, aiming for half-hour episodes, but that just keeps not happening. Oh, please, just go where I want you to. And this is why the episodes keep being longer than I mean for them to be, because things just refuse to snap where I want them to. Well, let's just keep on destroying things. Yeah, that did the trick. Amazing what a little destruction can do for you. I probably am out of materials now. Yep. And probably half of it is just stuck up there on the roof. But rather than wrestle with that at the moment, we're just gonna go over here to our slightly depressingly empty wood store. I'm gonna have to do some more deforestation. But let's get right back up there and see what we can do with this. 'Cause we're getting there. Okay, what were we working with? Maybe this guy? Okay. Yeah, look at all those supplies up there. I'm gonna need to, like, do some sort of jumping just to get that whole thing up, you know, available to me again. Okay. And now I'm starting to have second thoughts as to whether or not I really want this to be running out the way it is. But, okay, well, anyway, we have gotten almost there. We just need to do just a little bit more of this 45-degree, and actually, okay, yeah, that is the appropriate amount of pointedness. My hesitation is just that I can probably get away with the wider pieces, or I mean the half measure pieces. And I wish that you didn't snap quite like that, but I think that might be my main option. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about the best we can do. I'm trying to figure out if there's some way that I can slightly cover that up. I'm just kind of curious here, y'all. Let's see what happens if I were to snap something on top. Although I'm not quite sure what I want to snap on top. Let's see what happens if I do something like this. I can't tell where you're snapping, though. Yeah. Well, that's actually not terrible. That's actually in the way, but it's not a terrible look. knows? I might decide to go with that. Actually, kind of surprised kind of surprised me. There we go. But anyway, I'm gonna make this roof up here overhang just a tiny touch more. Although, you know what? I'm gonna try option A and option B again. Let's see what it looks like if there's a little bit of beamery in the way. Let's see what all beam options we have here. Let's make sure that we got all the ones that we need. Okay. Yeah, these are the... Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what happens with this, because you might not be short enough for me. You are not short enough for me. Well, let's try the 45 here. No, let's try the shorter 45 here. Well, let's see. Let's keep on. Yeah, no, that's not going to work because I don't have nice short little pieces. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's get right back up there for just a few more seconds. Yeah, I think that I will just go ahead and leave that little, whatever you want to call it, up there for the moment. But mostly what I'm looking to do right now is just destroy that piece. It would help me if the sunlight were coming from the correct direction. But anyway, let's get up here to a wall and let's build that roof out just a little bit more, and then we're gonna call this episode. And hopefully we'll have some nice, well-angled sunlight just in time to get a good look at this whole thing. And perhaps we can even get rid of some of these, well, these many pieces of wood up there. But anyway, let's see. Back to the roofs. We're going to do just a little bit more up here, but we're not going to go too nuts. Now, let's see. I'm actually using these small pieces on purpose. I have options, but I kind of like having these little beams that you can't, okay, yeah, like these little underbeams, whatever you want to call them. I kind of like the way those look, so we're just going to go with that. Are you correctly rotated? Maybe so, maybe no. So, come on, let's go. And let's do just a little bit more of the 30 degrees over here and here. And of course it's sunset now. Why wouldn't it be sunset? I mean, it's a beautiful sunset when it happens. It's just, you know, I was hoping for some actual lighting. But I will just edit in place a nicely lit version of this at the end of the video or something like that. Or at the very least for a thumbnail. So y'all can see what we actually did. And I hope you've managed to stick with me this far, because I think we might be just about done. Let's see if we can get some morning daylight. It's going to be from the wrong angle, but it's at least going to be daylight. Birdsong wakes you from your slumber. All right. Now what do we got up there? Whole bunch of lumber is what we got up there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get rid of those 45-degree things. Okay, let's do that real quick. And then we're going to call this episode. But I do hope that y'all have enjoyed seeing how to make this kind of a roof work out a little bit more interestingly than they usually do. Although, unfortunately, the roof construction process was a little bit more interesting than I wanted it to be. But now that is what we're going to go with. And I will see y'all in the next episode. And if you're enjoying this weird little fairy tale build, please do like and subscribe and all them YouTube things. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.